You know, when they say, when one door closes, another one opens. It sounds so magical, like, oh, it's locked. Let me go through this next door. No, you usually grab the handle and go, let me back in, please, let me in, right? But do you really want what's behind your old door? I want you to really think about this. What environment are you surrounding yourself with, and who are you listening to, right? What environment and who are you listening to? If you come over here, do you have negativity in your life? Are you learning from the right people? If not, you have to add those because that's part of your bridge to get from where you are to where you want to be. Do you have a new business plan? A plan to make the money you want, the flow. If it's the old one, that one's not working. Your best thinking got you here. You need next level thinking. So do you need to add to bridge that gap? Let's go back over here. Principle number 2, innovation and adapt quickly. Peter Drucker said, innovation and marketing are the only 2 things when it comes to business. The rest are all expenses, right? So innovation, adapting is the most important thing to where you want to go. You know, Wayne Gretzky said something great when he was asked why he was such a great hockey player. Anybody know what Wayne Gretzky said? Why he was so good at hockey? He was one of the greatest hockey players of all time. For those of you who don't follow hockey, I don't follow hockey, but I love seeing the greats. Some people skate to where the puck was. Most people skate to where the puck is. I found a way to skate to where the puck is going. If you're not in an innovative state, if you're not learning to adapt and shift when something like a variant that was announced 4 days ago can have shut down the country again, you got to realize we are in a new world. If you're doing things the way you used to do and you're not ready to shift and adapt, then you're already losing out. You're already losing ground. And think about it. I don't know about you, but when my confidence is down, when I'm watching the news, when I'm seeing the world shift, when your confidence is down, it is hard to think about pivoting, correct? It's hard to think about adapting, correct? It's hard to get in flow state and be innovative. So we need to keep ourselves around people who are innovating, who have already innovated before, who continue to innovate, who can adapt and adjust, pivot, and keep moving forward. Because if you're hanging around people that say, hey, we're just going to wait to see how things go. Think about that. You know, think about the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Right? Everybody know the concept of Who Moved My Cheese? Right? A couple of mice, there's cheese coming every day, they're loving it. All of a sudden, the cheese stops. One mouse goes, hell, I'm going to wait right here until they bring me my cheese back. And the other one's like, I don't think so. I'm getting a little hungry. I'm going to go look for some cheese. You're crazy. Just stay right here and wait. What happened to the mouse that waited? He starved to death. The other one had to go down a couple tunnels, probably get lost, figure stuff out, eventually found more cheese. This is a time, do not wait for your cheese to come back. You must go out and find new cheese. You know, when they say, when one door closes, another one opens. It sounds so magical, like, oh, it's locked. Let me go through this next door. No, you usually grab the handle and go, let me back in, please, let me in, right? But do you really want what's behind your old door? Think about that question. Do you really want what's behind your old door? You're here today because you want to go through the next door. You want another level, impact more, do more, be more. I'd love for you to think about that. Innovation, adapting. If you're not where the puck is going, then you're just doing what everybody else does. And how many people do you think are trying to do this on their own? I gotta tell you a story really quick. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, but I think of innovation. When COVID first came, there was 2 restaurants in Utah. A friend of mine told me this story. They were about 6 miles apart. COVID comes, shuts everybody down. One guy gets really pissed. I can't believe this is happening. It's the president's fault. It's China's fault. Was blaming everybody else, pissed off, sends everybody home. I could visualize like his arms crossed. 6 miles down the road, a couple streets over, another guy, the world shuts down. He and his brother go to Lowe's or Home Depot and they build an outside pavilion so you could drive through, and they made their restaurant, a barbecue restaurant, into a drive-through. They went inside and moved everything around 6 feet apart so they could bring people back to work. Within 3 days, they were back to work. Within a week, he said there was a mile-long line of people waiting to get the barbecue. What's the difference of the two, guys? There was still COVID. The world was shut down. They lived in the same city. They were on the same street, just about 6 miles apart. They both served food. All completely equal. One got innovative, one adapted, and one, could you imagine their story in 5 years? One's like, damn it, COVID ruined everything for me. And the other one's like, well, we have 65 restaurants, drive-thrus because of COVID. Lemonade out of lemons. But you have to be in that innovative, adaptive mode. So come back over here. If you don't feel that you're innovative, that you're not adapting, you have to fill these pieces of the gap. That's the business I'm in. I love learning from people who've already been there. I hate learning on my own. So I'm going to share in a moment here why I think this is so powerful. But if innovation, let's go back over here. If innovation and adapting is something you need, then surround yourself with the people and learn from those that know how to do it. All right, the third principle, sales and marketing. I usually teach these separately. I love teaching. It's my favorite thing in the whole world to teach. Let me just ask you real quick, if you're really honest with yourself, who feels that sales and marketing is probably the biggest thing holding you back from the money you want to make? Be honest, raise your hand if you feel it's sales and marketing. Okay, keep your hand up. For those of you that didn't, about 80% of you put your hand up. Oh, you can put it down now. Who in here has a little apprehension or feels a little bad about selling? Raise your hand if you feel a little bad or a little apprehensive about selling. About 80% of the people again. So here's what I want to tell you. People always ask me, what is your biggest secret to marketing? And I'm going to say, first off, fall in love with your product and service. Love what you do so much that you feel bad if people don't get it. The reason I love to market and sell is because I love the impact I get to make when people get my book or buy my courses or get my training. Or I love pushing people to go to Tony Robbins' event or work. Listen, if you want personal development, it's Tony. If you want self-education, it's me. If you want to be that next level in the network marketing business, it's Eric. There's nobody better. He's the guy, right? And people say, why do you love to sell? Is because I know when I get people to say yes, I get to impact their lives. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to please fall in love with what you do and what you offer so much that you feel bad if people don't say yes.